Flosstube, Catherine Stitching and Costume here, coming to you with Flosstube number 7. I have been meaning to film for quite a while now, and like a lot of people in the summertime, there are a lot of things that pull us in a lot of different directions. So I've been trying to focus in and prepare. I have stuff all around me, like a lot of people that film do, and I wanted to make a Flosstube before it got to be too late. I do have some things to show, not so many finishes. I've been a little bit crafting ADD, but I do have some stitching to share and some starts and a couple of little teeny finishes and progress on some of my projects. So yes, thank you for coming back. If you're stopping back as a subscriber, I really appreciate that. And if you are new to my channel, this is a channel I talk about all of my crafting things. Right now I do a lot of cross stitch. I've started to do a little bit of quilting, a little bit of applique. That I'm going to share a little bit of, not a whole lot, but there's a little bit of that. And so yeah, life update, boy, I can't even. It's been a little crazy. We've had, we got to travel, so that's a big excitement for us. Is my husband and I actually got away from the property for a weekend. We went to San Francisco, and it was the weekend that everything was just kind of starting to open up a little bit. There's a lot of people in San Francisco are vaccinated. We are fully vaccinated. Still taking precautions and being safe, but yeah, we got to travel. It was so exciting. And of course my whole motivation, it wasn't my whole motivation, but a big part of the motivation to get me out the door early in the morning on Saturday morning was a trip to Needle in a Haystack in Alameda, California. So I was so excited to be able to go in and peek around and pick some things out. I'll share a little bit of what I got, and I had to call ahead of time and make an appointment. So it was kind of a last minute thing for me. I said, my husband said, well, isn't there a needlework store, that we could stop by? I was like, oh gosh, I believe there is. I believe there is a needlework store there. So I called and I talked to Kathy, who is the owner, and she said, we're not open like normal. You have to make an appointment. So I made an appointment for 1 o'clock, thinking, okay, if we're out of here, I'm supposed to be 2.5 hours away from it. I thought if we're out at 10 o'clock, we'll be good. Traffic was terrible. It was a Friday. It took us forever. I called and she's like, don't worry about it. Just when you get here, just let us know. So they were very nice. And if I think about it, I will insert a video here of just a little bit, just a snippet. Okay. So it was fun to go in and see all of the threads and some fabrics and a couple of patterns I got, and I had a motivation for going in that I'll share in a sec. So yeah, that was exciting. I mean, the really exciting thing was I got to see my little sister, who I have not seen since the COVID epidemic started. Even before that, the January of 2020 was the last time I had seen her. She was up visiting us for New Year's Eve. And so I called her like the day before. I said, listen, I know it's the last minute. Would you be up for us coming by? And she said, what? Absolutely. I mean, we're all fully vaccinated. She is too. She is what I call her the family doctor. She is actually an acupuncturist, and so it's really, really crucial to her and her practice that she stays safe on every level. So she's been super, super careful not traveling and not having anyone visit. And so I wanted to really respect that, but at the same time, I miss her. So we actually got to see her on Sunday. So we had a fantastic time in San Francisco, and then the next day we drove home, but stopped. She lives in Emeryville, Berkeley. So we stopped and got to hug her and talk to her for, a couple hours, her and her family. It was really fun. So yeah, that was pretty exciting. So let's fast forward. I'm going to move on. Okay, so now I'm looking at, now we're done with that trip and gearing up for July. And I knew that I was going to be having my family, our whole family here. My two sisters, so the one that lives in Emeryville, the one that is closer to us, was coming to our house. So I knew there was a lot for me to do to get ready, to make sure everybody was comfortable, and plan all the, what are we going to do all day, swimming and all that fun stuff. So getting ready for that, and I started something that I'll share. My birthday is July 1st, so I wanted to do a birthday start, and originally I had planned to start Consider the Lilies, and I got drawn into Tudor Bee Sal with Kim Goldman, and a lot of other people are doing the Tudor Bee Sal, and I'm going to share that in a second. But so that was my big July, the 4th of July and all of that. And then so yeah, that kind of cooled down, and then there's been other things happening, here and there. My husband had carpal tunnel surgery, so that has been that's been me, because it was his right hand, so I'm doing a lot of things around the house that he would normally be doing. Boy, do I miss him, doing all that stuff, but he still manages to get a lot done. So that's my life update. I wanted to say a quick hello to a couple of people. One of the great things about doing Flosstube, making new friends, that is so fun. And then connecting with people that I haven't seen in a really long time. And it surprised me that I had a friend from high school pop up, Debbie, who said, "Oh, I watch with my daughter, Isabella." And I said, "Oh, your daughter?" She's like, "Can you recommend some charts?" I said, "Oh gosh, well, how, she's young." And I'm like, well, I'm trying to list all these younger, I don't know, what I think is would appeal to somebody that's more youthful, Lizzie Kate, things like that, and other Flosstubers that I think she would like better, and because they're young and they have a lot of, personality, and they're a lot of fun, and the kind of projects that I would think would appeal. And anyway, I do a lot of samplers and things like that. She's like, "No, she really likes watching you." So I just wanted to say hi to Isabella and hi to Debbie. It is so nice to have you guys. If you're watching, thanks for watching. And so shout out to you guys. Hello. And on that note too, I have a really good friend from my Disney days that lives in Tokyo, that Chris, who, honey, if you've made it this far into watching me, I think it's time for you to do some stitching. So let me know if you're still watching Flosstube. And she's a dancer. There's no way in the world that, I would be shocked if she's still watching. She's like, "I watch you." So honey, if you're watching this, I'm going to be sending you some flosses and a pattern that I think you'd like. So hi, Chris. Okay, so let's jump into finishes. So I'm going to try to follow my notes because I'm going to look. Okay, I'm 8 minutes in. So I have been doing all kinds of different things, and I'm intrigued by quilting. I'm intrigued by wool applique. So I jumped in with that wool applique stitch along that Bonnie Log Cabin stitcher and I think it's Lisa Primson Greenway are doing, and I've been wanting to try wool applique for a really long time, and I had pieces of wool. I had a free pattern from Rebecca Smith, and so I said, I'm just gonna go for it. So I pulled out my wool and I put this together. It's a little spool, and that right there is my first attempt at wool applique. And you know, it's fun. It probably goes a little faster than a cross stitch project for sure. So yeah, and I just kind of made it my own. I think the original pattern was all different colors, so I just kind of pulled out whatever was fun. It's supposed to be a spool, and it's supposed to have little rings on the bottom, and you can do a floss drop with it, but I just kind of said, well, I'm just going to hang it up in my sewing room. So there it is, finish number 1, wool applique. And going on, so I also was watching, okay, I should really write all this down. Okay, I was watching Celeste Creates, and she does all these really cute little pillows, and she does a lot of cool things. So I was watching when she was doing all her July 4th patriotic, you know, pillows and dough bowl fillers and things like that. So I kind of threw that together after being inspired by her. It's just little strips of fabric that I pieced together, and then I wrote July 4th I just kind of embroidered that on there. There we go, and that's the back. Just a little, it's got a little bit of walnut shells and a lot of poly stuffing in that. There it is. And so one more thing I have. This, I can't even remember what the free pattern was. I don't remember the name. I have the pattern, but doesn't have a name on it. If you guys know what this is, can you just leave it in a comment for me, and people can check it out. It's so cute. It's a little spool, patriotic, and I, of course, didn't fully finish yet. It's kind of just pinned on this little vintage spool that I had, but I will. I'll finish it eventually. So I just prop that up. These guys go in this little wagon that my dad made. I'll insert a picture here. He was a really gifted, talented person. So that was something that ended up in my possession, and I love it. So I just kind of put different things in it at different seasons. Alrighty, let me boogie on. Oh, one more thing I wanted to say. Alex, if you're watching this, happy birthday, sweetie. That's my daughter. Her birthday is tomorrow. I love you so much. You make me laugh like no one else, and I just wish the best year to come for you. Okay, so let's see here. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, a little bit about, you know, I was watching Jody, Trixie Tricycle, and she was talking about her bees and her beekeeping. So that is something that is definitely on my radar. We have so much room to put things like that. We're still kind of in transition, you know, as far as landscaping goes. So we don't really have, I can't really focus on where I want to put it right now. But she gave me some good tips for doing some research to find out more about how to actually beekeep. I'm thinking one hive. I don't think I would do more than that, just because I think it would, you know, if I start with one, I think that would be good. Just try it out. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe next year in the spring. So she gave me some good ideas on how to approach that. Thank you, Jody. Thank you. All right, let's get into some works in progress here. And let's see, I'm going to start off with, let's see, I'm going to grab my stack here. I'm going to start with some whips, and these are not in any particular order. I don't even know if how much more progress I made on this one since I showed it last. Alice Sarah Dennis, and this is by Mill on the Floss. It is a beautiful sampler. I had wanted to do it the second I saw it. And originally I thought, oh, I'll just leave this bottom part off and I'll just do that. But then I started to think, no, that's not charted that way. I don't want to do it I want to do it the way that it was intended to be done by the little girl. Let me see if I can hold this up without putting anything behind it. This is on a huge piece of 32 count fabric that I dyed myself. There it is. Let me see if I can get a little closer here. And you can see it is, it's not all even, right? So I've got to really watch that border and pay attention to the pattern. And I have a working copy that I highlight with this one. This is one of the first big historical samplers that I started to do. So I've learned a lot, and I don't know that I would do 32 count again on such a big sampler, just because using 2 threads, you know, I'm used to using the 1 thread now on 36 or 40. It just goes so much faster. But I do like the way this looks. And again, this is just the DMC, and I love the colors. This is the part I completed that tree and worked on the deer, finished him, and so yeah, I'm just gonna go across. That's how I'm attacking my samplers now. Let's not do the border and go, you know what I mean? Because I've made mistakes after doing, and this is a giant border. I didn't want to do the whole border and then have to take something out. So there's Alice, Sarah, Dennis. Boom, that's one. And Tong Uffendale. So this is a beautiful Hands Across the Sea chart. I'm sure a lot of you guys know this one. Yeah, this one is it's beauty. It's a beauty. And this is the one that I did the full border on, made a mistake, had to take out, I did the vines, I didn't do all the flowers, and had to take it all out. And anyway, I fixed it, it's beautiful. And I have this on a roller frame. I don't think I've made a whole lot of progress. I put it down to do other things, but that's where I am on it. I just kind of went across the top a little bit more and did that little tree and the basket next to it. So this will come out again soon. And I'm doing this on, this is a 36 count Vintage Pearled Barley by Lakeside. And I'm doing this with the called for silks. I'm going to show those to you. Really pretty. Well, everybody says, I think everybody says that when they go like that. Ooh. But yeah, it's gorgeous. So she's a beauty. There she is. And up and down. I have a few Hands Across the Sea charts going right now. Yeah, it seems to be the year of Hands Across the Sea for me. So I get one done. I want to get one done. No, I will. I'm on track to get one done for sure. So I know that will happen. Okay, let's see. What do I have here? Some of these are in bags. Barp. There you go. That's the only bad zip you're going to hear. This is a new start. This is the Tudor Bee. So this is the one that I started on my birthday. And Kim the Contented Stitcher. Hi, Kim. And there's a lot of people. So it's the Tudor Bee Sal. If you're on Instagram, you can watch other people's progress. I think people have already finished it. And this is something that I do. I don't do it all the time. I do it, in the morning or in the evening if I'm sitting around hanging out watching TV. So that's where I am on this one. Let's see, what am I doing this on? 40 count old stationery linen by Seraphim. I think I just poked myself with that pin. There it is. And I'm doing this with the called for DMCs, and they are beautiful, really happy colors. I did substitute the B part, the gold part. Make sure I didn't poke my finger. It is calling for, what did I do? It calls for, well, it turned out to be more, it was more green. And I wanted it to be more of a gold color. So this as opposed to, this was what I chose, and that's what it called for. And it's pretty, but I wanted a gold bee, so I substituted that one out. And let me tell you what that number is. If you're interested, it is DMC 729. Making some progress. And this I'm doing for cross stitch camp with Colorado Cross Stitcher. And I'm hoping I'm gonna get this done. This is my July finish. She said, this is what I hope to have as a July finish for cross stitch camp, so that yeah, I can participate in camp. So there's that one. Let's see, what else do I have here? Okay, so traditional samplers. This is called A Tender Heart. And this is a bag I made out of the Kathy Holden fabrics. And let's see here where I am on this. And I just did my own, I just grabbed a bunch of flosses that I thought looked really close to the picture. So let me pull this guy out. I made some okay progress on that. I've got across the top there, and I moved down into the, and I did what I call the lollipop flower. And I've just got a hodgepodge of different flosses. I've got a couple of silks in there, a couple of DMCs, some overdyed cottons. So still kind of on the fence about that purple. It feels like it's awfully faded, but I'm just gonna continue on. And again, I'm just going across like a band sampler now. So I wanted to come down one side and then head across the middle and do the big, there's a big red house. So I'll get that done, and then I'll see if the purple is not really holding its own. I might have to just pull that out. There's not a lot if I wanted to pull out the purple, just in A Tender Heart, just in the phrase. I don't think I'd pull out the alphabet too, so I think it looks okay, but we'll see. So that's been a fun stitch, and I do that sometimes in the morning. So I kind of switch off my morning smaller stitches, or afternoon. Like sometimes I'll sneak up to my sewing room and but I come up to my sewing room, and if nothing else is calling to me, I'll just say, okay, you have 1 hour, just stitch something, and watch a Flosstube friend. So that's one of the things that I would normally do in the afternoon. Okay, let's push on. So what do I have here? This is Jessie Watson. So this one is a Sal that I'm doing with Barbara Raspberry Stitcher. And for the April start, we started in April for Autism Awareness Month. And it's a beautiful sampler. I'm using the Vicki Clayton silks, and they are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Barbara said, hey, check out the Vicki Clayton silks. I said, well, okay. So this is my progress. I'm not really sure actually where I am as far as, you know, how far along I should be, but this is how far along I am. So I might be a little bit more here and there and a little bit less here and there. So I think Barbara got to this red part, so I'm a little bit down below that. I have made a couple of mistakes on the berries that I have to go back and pull out 1 or 2 stitches just because I put in too many. I made it bigger than it was supposed to be. But yeah, these are, you know, really beautiful. This is on some thrift store frame I found that, hey, you know, it was getting to that point where I didn't really want it in Q-snap anymore, and I like to roll it up. And I know I'm going to be getting eyelet stitches pretty soon, so I like to have it on a rolling frame, scroll rods. Okay, so let's put that in there. Moving on. Okay, now let's see, and Morrison. So again, this is another Hands Across the Sea, so this is number 3 for me, and it is done on Oh, I should say, what am I doing Jessie Watson on? Oh, this is 36 count Buttercream by Seraphim Fabrics with the Vicky Clayton silks. Very pretty. I did Anne, so now, oh, Anne Morrison. Okay, so this is a Sal out of Canada with traditional stitches, and it's an exclusive to them. I'm not sure if you can get this chart anymore. You might be able to find it. So I am doing mine with the DMC that they call for, and I'm doing this one on, let's see, the 37 count Russian tea cake by Access Commodities. Access Commodities. I love this linen. I love it. It's got such a good, I don't know, it's just, there's something so sturdy about it. Of course, the Millennium frame is like the most awesome frame. If I could get like 10 more Millennium frames, I'd be so happy, the scroll rods, but yeah, kind of hard to get that out of England right now. But just love the way it looks. So what I'm doing is I'm not really following the structure. I am kind of up to date as far as the Sal. I rather than do the middle part, which is the eyelet heart and the big urn with the flowers underneath it, I moved over and I did this part. And the reason I did that is I'm a little nervous about my ability to count correctly, especially when it comes to so many eyelets. So I wanted to come down here and travel across and work up, because what I didn't want to do was do all of the eyelets and then start to pop on down and realize I might have been off a stitch or two. So that was my choice, but I know a lot of people are doing this part here. So I'm down here, I'm gonna go across, and then I'll just work up from there. And I think I'm on track as far as finishing wise to finish at the time when everyone else does. I hope so, hope I do. So yeah, that's been fun. So yeah, having Sals, I mean, it's been a good journey for me. I feel like it's kind of spurred me on to actually stay consistent on my progress on things. So I hope I keep it up. I'll keep it up. Alrighty, so that is all of my whips, and I think I showed you all the finishes. I'm gonna talk a little bit about, oh, there's one more whip I'm doing. So I think you know that, well, if you watch Olivia B and Lori Textilelust, they're doing a Blackbird Designs quilt along, specifically for applique. Now, I've always wanted to try, I've done quilting, but I've never done applique. It is so beautiful. So I watched and I thought, you know, this is my opportunity to get, you know, just try something and try to be, you know, try something new and do it with a group of people that are all doing it at the same time and learn some things. So I didn't want to really invest in expensive fabric. I mean, I have a lot of fabric. So I thought, you know, rather than buy like a whole quilt kit, this is what I would normally do. I'll just get all the fabric and then I'll just make the quilt. I thought, you know, why don't I just start with one block? So that's what I did. I pulled out some scraps that I had, and I got a bunch of these because I thought this is going to be a good way to store quilt projects, right? Well, I don't have a lot, but it would be a good way to put everything in one one box, and carry it around the house and work on it when I felt like it, or, you know, the opportunity arose. I have 5 or 10 minutes here and there to stitch things on. So what I chose to do is out of Fresh Picked. This is a Blackbird book. Don't you love their designs? Barb and Alma. So sad about Barb. I know everybody's been talking about that. I was late to the Blackbird party. I didn't really start to pick up cross stitch again until about 5 years ago, And it was like almost immediately that I realized, oh, these guys, Barb and Alma, they're amazing. I want to get all of their things and do all of them. So yeah, it was really sad to hear that she had passed on July 4th, and that's the day my mom passed. So now it has, they'll always be linked together, you know. Yeah, it was, she leaves behind quite a legacy though, doesn't she? A lot of beauty and a lot of happiness and joy in people's lives. This is the one I chose to do. Bluebird. And if you watch Olivia B, this is the one that she chose to do her her Applique demonstration with. I really want to try Applique, but I'm trying to use what I have. So the first thing I started to do was just use a fusible that had another fusible. It was kind of a stupid idea because it got kind of messy, and I was just trying to jump in and I'll just do it. And didn't really turn out, but this looks fine. So this is where I am on it. And these are scraps of fabrics that I just pulled out, and I have made bias tape before, so I was okay with doing that. And it's fun. The thing I'll say about applique is it's very fiddly. So it doesn't go quickly, and that is you know, that's something that Lori Textilelust talked about. She's very honest. She's like, if you're looking for a quick craft, this is not it. There's what I've done with these. I use the Lori Holt method where I sewed the backing on, and then I made a little slit in. It's like a sew-in interfacing. I should have pulled that out, but it's everywhere. And then I made a little slit and turned it so that it is finished. And so now I can, let's see, where does this one go? I think it goes up here. Now I can just glue it on with a glue stick, applique glue stick, or applique glue, or just pin it, and then I just stitch all the way around. So that's where I am. I've got a few more things to do, and all the little berries. I think these were probably the most challenging thing, is doing all these tiny little circles. So yeah, I think hey, it doesn't have to be perfect. So when I get it all finished, I'll probably make this into a project bag, but I could see how it would be really fun to put some applique blocks in with just patchwork, and really, really pretty. So I'm having fun with that. Thank you to those ladies that inspired that applique quilt along. I'm really excited to make some progress on a new craft. New. I need more. Okay, so I'm going to jump into some things that I have acquired. So I, have been doing a little bit of shopping, and like I said, I went to Needle in a Haystack, and I had the intention of simply of kitting up just a little project, something small that I'll just whip out in no time at all. Consider the lilies. I have loved this from the second I saw it. I think I was working on His Eyes on the Sparrow, which I still have in progress, and I haven't picked it up in a little bit of time, but I think I was working on it and this popped up on something, and it was all I could do to not throw the other one across the room and run to my computer and order this immediately. I ordered it, but I thought, I'm not gonna kit it up until I finish His Eyes on the Sparrow. Which, that didn't last. So let's see. So what I did, I'm not gonna pull them all out. I bought all the flosses. Okay, I'll pull them out. This is what I got at Needle in a Haystack, was all of that beauty. And there was one or two that they didn't have. And you know, the supply chains, it's a real thing right now. It is hard to find certain things, but she did have, she said, I just got this one in after about 9 months. Brethren Blue, if you're looking for that, they might have it at Needle in a Haystack still. I bought 3 of them because I love this color, and I have some other Heartstring Samplery. Oh, I should say that is from Heartstring Samplery. His Eye is on the Sparrow. Oh, I'm sorry, no. Consider the Lilies. And there are some beautiful finishes that people have done with it. And this is in a lot of her charts, and it is just like such a beautiful blue. So yeah, all these good beautiful colors, and I just have it in one of these really big. I got this at the Daiso store. It's a really extra big size, and unzips all the way around, because this one, yeah, takes a lot of, it's a lot. I have to finish getting it ready, so all of the threads are going to get put on floss drops, and they're all the called for threads, I should say that. And this is a piece of fabric I bought when I was there. So again, fabric's been kind of, you know, spotty, hard to find, and especially Lakeside. They didn't even have very much Lakeside at Needle in a Haystack. So I'm sure she's doing mail order things still, or mail order, you know what I mean, phone in orders, online orders. So it probably goes out as quickly as they get it in. There were some pieces, but nothing that really spoke to me. So I found this. Oh, actually, yeah, let me show it to you here. So this is, sorry, I have my fabrics mixed up. This one is hand dyed by Stephanie, toasted almond, and it is 36 count. It is absolutely gorgeous. So it's a big piece. I think she had a whole yard of it. I said, just cut it in half. I'll take a half of it. So I have a really big piece of this. This is like enormous, 36 count, so I can use it. There's a lot I can use that for. I mean, that goes with everything. So I'm excited about trying that. That's a new fabric to me, hand dyed by Stephanie's. I'd never gotten it before. But for Consider the Lilies, this is the piece that I had in my stash that I pulled out, and I said this, and I had a post-it note on it saying that's what that's for. So this is beautiful. Silk Weaver, 36 count, Sandcastle. And let's see. Yeah, you can kind of see. I mean, it's hard to tell with the lighting, but that's about it there. Oh, really pretty. Nice light modeling, perfect sampler color, and I think for Consider the Lilies, this is going to be beautiful because there's so many bright, beautiful colors in it. With, you know, so that made me happy. So I was going to start that for my birthday, and then I got sidetracked with the Tudor Bee and life, and I said, don't put stress on yourself. It's fun. You should start it when you know, when you're really ready to get everything set up and ready to go just the way you want it. Okay, a little bit more haul from Needle in a Haystack. So I got, well, you saw the fabric. So that was my big splurge, was that big piece of toasted almond. Almond. My husband says almond. His family had an almond farm, and so I always call them almonds, and it drives him crazy because, you know, if you really know, you say almond. So, okay. Do you like some almonds? So let's see here. I got this that I thought was just adorable. Scarlet House. It's Julia Fletcher 1847, and it's got a little pillow, pin keep, and a little strawberry. And so these are some of the flosses I got to do with that. It is a red and a black. The red is, I believe it's Schoolhouse Red. No, it's called Hollyberry by Gloriana. It's a silk. Really pretty. And this one is Black Licorice by Gentle Art. It's an overdyed cotton. This one's a silk, but I said, oh, those would be pretty with that. So that was one of the patterns I got. Did I get my other one? I know I got Jane Fittis, so I'm not sure. I've got quite a stack of stuff here. So let's pause, please. Okay, so yeah, I had it sitting on my sewing table. I couldn't resist this. I have watched Barbara Raspberry Stitcher's progress. I know she did a stitch along with this, and it's just so pretty. It's going to be a long time before I can kit this one up and start it. I have got to finish some of my Hands Across the Sea samplers before I pick another one up and start it. But I love this one very much. So, yes, nice. So that'll be a start at some point, maybe next year. Maybe next year. So I have a couple of pieces of fabric. I was at the craft store. Well, it is the craft store, so it's called Ben Franklin Crafts. It's like the only place around us that has good, great quilting fabric. And I saw these on Fat Quarter Shop, and I thought, oh, I want to get some of these. I didn't want to get a ton of them, but so I got a half a yard of each one of. It's called Kitty Corn by Moda, and it's just so cute. Halloween, little Halloween colors, but like fresh Halloween. Fresh Halloween. I like my Halloween good and fresh. Kitty corn. So I thought a little project bag would be cute with these. Maybe a couple of project bags. So that was fun. Fabric. And then I also got this. I found on eBay. I'm always looking, I will type in sampler fabric, because you just never know what you're going to find. And so this is some vintage piece of something. Does it have on here what it is? Sometimes it's in the selvage, the name of it. But let me see if this has it. Yeah, it does. Okay, so this is Fabric Traditions, 1995. Is that all it says? Fabric Traditions. Yes, and it's just got all these really cute little sampler motifs on it. So I think this is about 2 yards, maybe 1.5 yards. And I thought that would be cute to do project bags and maybe pull 1 or 2 motifs out and just do little, needle book, or I don't know, something like that. Pin cushions. So that one was a cute purchase. And then I was watching Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, and she pulled out some of the Lori Holt fabrics that she had, and I had to run over immediately and buy some. So this one is, I think it's called Flea Market. So this is that, they call it a cheater fabric because it's got, it looks like it's already quilted. So the hard work's done, or pieced. It looks like it's already pieced together. And so that would be a cute project bag. It's in my stash. And then this one that looks like applique. So this is the fast way of doing applique. There is a fast way. You just buy the piece of fabric that looks like it's already appliqued. That may be my method of applique. I'll do a tutorial. Here you go. Click. You buy it. Okay. And then a couple more here. So did I get a red? I did get a red. So I got a red and a green. So these are all kind of coordinating together. I don't remember. I think this is Flea Market. I just like that green. It's always hard to find a really good green for me. I love green. And to find a green that's fresh but not too blue. Bluey greens are pretty, but I mean, I just want it to look like it looks when I look out the window, you know, very natural. Okay, is that it? I think that's all I have. Woohoo! Okay, 45 minutes. We shall see. So that is all I have to share. And I want to say thanks again for coming by, and, you know, go check out some, check out some new Flosstubers, people that you haven't really watched before, because you never know who you're going to get inspiration from. And so thanks again for stopping by. I wish you all the best of health, and I hope you're having a lot of fun stitching everything you want to stitch. And if it's not lighting you up, put it down for a while and come back to it. Okay, love you guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Do you want a cookie? Come on, let's get the cookie. Come on, come sit. Sit. Good girl, sit, stay, gentle.